Hi, I'm Dante. This video is about the fact that it's been a year since I've rejected religion. And it's been a very interesting year. It was a long time coming. It took me several years to get to that point. And it's only been a year since I've been to that point. Now, I started out as a child who I remember being an atheist as a child. I remember not really believing in God or anything like that. And then when I was a teenager, I started believing in God. And then I got baptized because I believed in God at the time. And I thought that Jesus Christ was really my Savior. Now, a little bit after that, not too long after that, I started to question it because I started hearing some things, gossip and such. And I remember one night, this one guy kept gossiping about people and saying bad things about people that I did not agree with. And he was talking to my roommate in the other room, and I did not want to hear it, so I went to my room and closed the door. But I could still hear this guy in the other room. He's talking about how blah 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 blah, this and that and the other thing. And I kind of got tired of it. It doesn't really matter what the issue is about, because I don't remember what it was about. It's been such a long time. It's been several years. More than 14 years, I think, at this point. But I got so angry after a while that I just confronted him. I confronted him with everything I had. And at the time, I thought that was the Spirit of God flowing through me. Nowadays, I look back on that and see that it was just the part of me that realized that he was doing what Christianity leads people to do, which is judge others. And I was using the part of my brain that has evolved to care about others. It's part of what makes us human and part of what helps us survive. We try to help and protect other people that we feel are being rejected and hurt by other people. After a while, I moved to where I am now, which is out of state from where I was. Try to get a new start in life and all that stuff. And by that time, I'd already rejected religion to some extent. I rejected mainstream Christianity, in effect. But I was still a Christian. I still considered myself a Christian. But I described myself as true Christian, rather as opposed to what those people were that were part of my church. I rejected them as false Christians, fake Christians, sort of using the, I know now it would be called the No True Scotsman, although it should be called the No True Christian fallacy, because Christians use it a lot more than anybody else. Actually, Muslims use it, and other theists use it. They say, oh, you're not true, blah, 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 blah. You know what? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Now, after a while, it took several years. I've been in this area for about 13 years now. And about a year ago, I got into discussions with this one Christian from my old church. And eventually it got to the point where I was telling him, well, you're not a true Christian, and he was pretty much telling me, I'm not a true Christian, and I have all these things wrong and stuff like that, and I argued with him about it, until finally he brought up the book of Job, and told me, oh, look at the book of Job. And, I looked at it and realized that the God of the Bible made bad decisions when it came to Job. He made a bet with the devil. He instigated the whole thing with Satan. And he made Job's life miserable. Now, when God was confronted by Job, all God had to do is say, look at how powerful I am. I can do this, that, and the other thing. And that was enough to convince Job that what God did was right. It was not right. None of what happened in that book was right. None of what God did in the Bible to Job was good. Not right, not anything. And that's what ultimately made me give up on Christianity. And it was a year ago today that happened. Today is July 29th, 2014. I'll probably be uploading this tomorrow on July 30th, 2014, which is about a year after that whole incident. And over the past year, I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot and found out a lot and challenged myself and challenged others and learned quite a bit about my position. I've done a few videos, I've done a lot of things, and have been learning more about religion and everything in the past year than I have ever. And I've been overall more happy than I've ever been in my entire life over the past year. It's like the day I gave up on religion, gave up my imaginary best friend, as I like to call it now. The moment I gave him up was like a relief. It filled me with such happiness that I didn't have this monkey on my back. And I realize now that I myself am responsible for my own actions. And the person that I have to deal with is myself. If I feel guilty, it's me. It's on me. I don't need deity. And I am so much happier taking life in my own hands. I feel much better taking ownership of everything that I do and ownership of my life. I mean, there are consequences to every action, and I'm happy to take on those consequences. Whereas Christians don't feel they need to take the consequences of their own action. Just place that burden on Jesus. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore. It used to make sense, but it doesn't anymore. And you know what? My life is much better now that I've given up on religion. And the past year has been wonderful. Thank you for listening. If you like this, please like it. Share it if you want. I hope this was helpful. Who knows? But thank you very much. I'm Dante Anakin, and have a nice day.